Hey YouTube, my name is Kayla Rain and today I'm doing my wrap up for the month of March. So before I get into my wrap up, I want to get personal with you guys and just give a huge thank you. I'm glad April's here because March was incredibly stressful for me. In one of my jobs, I took on a new title, responsibility type deal, and it was just really stressful to kind of transition into on top of my other responsibilities at work. And it also put a lot of time restrictions on my other job that I have, so it just made all that really stressful. And then on top of that, earlier this month, my father was hospitalized unexpectedly, and when he got home, he needed a lot of care and still needs a lot of care and help doing a lot of things that he was able to do before on his own. So that's been a really heavy burden on me and very stressful, and I'm so thankful that I've had the opportunity to help my father and that he's okay now, but it's been a lot. And the reason I want to thank you guys is YouTube was really a safe place for me during the month of March. It was a place where I felt really supported and well loved. Sorry, it has been a crazy stressful month for me, guys, and you guys have been so incredible. You didn't even know how supportive you were being by commenting on my videos and, responding to my tweets and talking to me on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And it just made me feel very supported and made me have this drive to get through the month of March. And I just feel like that month's behind me now. I'm ready to start with a fresh new month, and I just wanted to thank you guys so much for being there without even really knowing that you were, my basis for support. I just think it's incredible, the community that we have here on YouTube. I really needed that, and I can't even fully express my gratitude for just how amazing you guys are. I am so thankful, and I just feel like I needed to express that, so I'm sorry if you didn't want this personal tidbit before my monthly wrap-up. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and jump into my wrap-up. I'll try to make it really quick. I had a pretty good reading month, and I want to tell you the books that I read this month and what I thought about them. So the first book that I got through this month was A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, and I do have a couple of videos on this, and I'll link them somewhere on here in the down bar below. You'll be able to find them. I really liked this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars and found it to be this incredible epic journey. And if you're into any type of high fantasy, I definitely recommend this, even if you feel kind of apprehensive getting into it. My best advice for you is do it with a friend. Get a community together, because having a community to read this book together with was amazing and helpful and just made it that much more enjoyable for me. I also read Enclave by Anna Guire, and I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars. The whole premise of this book is it's kind of a post-apocalyptic world where this enclave lives underground, and they have this very strict dystopian community that they survive in some tunnels underground, and things kind of go wrong when the monsters that roam the tunnels outside of their society start to get a little more brilliant and figure things out and kind of cause a little bit of chaos. That's all I'm really going to say on the matter because I don't want to spoil anything. But I didn't enjoy this book as much as I thought I would. I felt like the world building was a little lackluster and the character development was not even really there. And I also read A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I adored this book. It is a fantasy novel with a historical fiction aspect to it. And it follows Kel, who is a blood magician, and he can travel through these alternate versions of London. So we have a grey London, a red London, a white London, and a black London, and they are all very different in their own respects. And this book is incredible, and just the dialogue is fantastic. So if you're into really witty, wonderful dialogue that will have you laughing and just reeling with just the feels, check this book out. It is the first one in a series by V.E. Schwab, and I am very much anticipating the second book. I also read The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil by Stephen Collins. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It was a fantastic graphic novel. The art in this was beautiful. I can't really tell too much about the storyline because it'll kind of give it away, so I'll just give you a really quick bare minimum synopsis. Basically, this is an island where everything has a place. It is just this perfect little world where nothing is different from anything else. Everyone just kind of lives by the rules because that's what they're told to do. And one day this guy wakes up and starts growing this giant beard that everyone thinks is evil because it is outside of the norm. And just the progression of the story is gorgeous and thought-provoking and wonderful, and I think everyone should read it. And I adored this book, this graphic novel. I also read The Way We Bared Our Souls by Willa Strayhorn. I give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The reason this one didn't get as high a rating for me is because it kind of fell flat on character development, which is where I thought this book should really shine through, because it is a very character-driven book rather than plot-driven book. It is a book about these 5 kids who all have varying issues that really suck in their lives, and they all switch issues and have to deal with them for a week. And I felt like this book didn't really go much of anywhere. A little bit of a disappointment. I had higher expectations. I still didn't enjoy it, but I felt like it didn't meet the expectations I set in my mind, and then it just disappointed me. And then I listened to 3 audiobooks, and as I mentioned before, it's been kind of a crazy month, so audiobooks have been really fantastic because I've been having to drive all over God's green earth for everything that has been happening in this month. So I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks through all that. Ended up listening to 3 of them, and I'll go ahead and give just a breakdown of what I listened to this month. So the first audiobook that I listened to was Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a really fantastic murder mystery novel. I have a review on it. I will put it up there, and you can check it out if you want to watch that video. And it was fantastic, and you should read it because it is amazing. If you liked Gone Girl, definitely check that one out. And then the second book that I read or listened to was The $1,000 Tan Line by Rob Thomas and Jennifer Graham, and this one was narrated by Kristen Bell. So it was narrated in the voice of Veronica Mars. By the way, this is a Veronica Mars novel, and it was just incredibly amazing. It literally read like a Veronica Mars episode, which is to be expected because it's from the creator of Veronica Mars, and then Kristen Bell read the voice. So yeah, it just had that really great dialogue that is in Veronica Mars, plus it was a little more grown up. Probably because it's not on TV, so they can put whatever they want in the book. So it was definitely on another level, but it still had kind of that classic Veronica Mars vibe to it. And then the final book that I finished this month was Amy Poehler's Yes Please, and this was narrated by Amy Poehler, and it was incredible. I felt like it's just a book that was very funny, hilarious, but also held some really great, deeper messages in it. I think it was great as far as giving me like a boost of self-esteem and being more confident in myself, which is definitely something that I struggled with this past month with everything going on. So just listening to Amy Poehler's audiobook was incredible. It helped me a lot. It made me feel really fantastic. And I just really loved it. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, and yeah, it was great. I liked it. Okay guys, that is it for today's video. Again, thank you so much for all of my subscribers. You guys are amazing. I needed to express myself. I needed to put it out there, and I needed to say thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos as I upload them. And as always guys, thanks for watching. Stay weird.